Good afternoon. In this video I'm going to talk about a video called How to Get Better to the Things That We Care About, and it's a video by Eduardo Briseño, and he starts saying that when we are one thing in our minds that it's important for us, we try to do our best. It can be on our school, in the job, in the university, with our family, with our friends, whatever, and anything that we do, we're trying to give our best. But at the same time, there are many things that maybe it's very important for us, but the things that we do are not being like we want. Maybe in our classes, or with our friends, or maybe in a project, or in a grade of a class. But we are, even if we are trying really hard to doing our best. Also, Eduardo says that in that things that we are trying to get better, because it's important for us. There are two things. That is, the first one is the learning about, and the second one is the performance zone. And the learning zone, it's that in our minds we know that maybe if we are trying to do our best, but at the same time we are thinking that if there are a mistake in the process of do whatever, our minds is thinking that we are going to learn about that mistake. But in the performance zone, in our minds we are thinking that we are going to try to reduce the number of mistakes that we are going to do. So at the same time, Eduardo is explaining that when we are in our learning zone, we are just acting, we are just being us, because we are not like, we are just trying to do our best, because we are not acting by a acknowledgement or by a process, because as I said before, we are in our minds, we are thinking that maybe it can be a mistake, but at the same time we are thinking that we can learn something about it. So, and the difference between the learning zone and the performance zone is that in the performance zone, maybe we are trying to not to do mistakes, because we are acting or doing things by acknowledgement that we found in other place, because as I said before, we're trying to not to do mistakes. He also mentioned that when we are in our learning zone, maybe we can like fall again in our comfort zone, and that's a bad thing, because we are comfortable to do things that maybe we're not receiving the results that we want, but we are thinking it's just a result and that's all. I am not going to try to do another thing, and that's all. We are not looking for do our best, or maybe for look how to get the results that we want. And he's saying that that's a bad thing, because we are not looking for maybe in books, or maybe to do another practices, or maybe with experts that can help us to go out of our comfort zone. Eduardo has mentioned that many of us The majority time we are maybe in our computer every day, but we are just like looking for something, but we are not really looking for something. We are just like in our computer and in the web, and we are not really concentrated in what we want and what we are looking for. And that's a thing that it's a bad for us, because maybe if we dedicate, like in our cases here in Zamorano, like if we dedicate our 2 hours of study to 7 to 9 p.m. and we really full concentrated in our homeworks or exams or another thing to do in that 2 hours, maybe that we really received better results in our classes. But at the majority of us, we are only being like, if we are looking when we are not really doing that, we are just looking for another thing, or maybe we are looking for something but we are not doing it in the time that it is required to. Maybe we are doing it slowly, just for the waiting for the time to pass, and we are not making the time to be available. So the learning thing in this video is that if we want to do things that make it worth it, you have to do things that maybe it's hard to do that, but even if it needs a little of effort of you have to work hard to go out of your comfort zone and to do the results that you want, and not to be comfortable with things that just because it's a easy thing to do, and not looking for other results.